What if I told you that skipping just one medical test after 70 could silently shave years off your life? Every year, thousands of seniors skip key checkups because they feel fine, they fear bad news, or they think it's just aging. But the truth is, some of these overlooked tests are the very ones that can prevent blindness, heart failure, kidney collapse, or even sudden death. In fact, research shows that seniors who stay on top of just 7 specific health checkups live on average 6 years longer and spend 40% fewer days in the hospital than those who don't. Yet most people over 70 don't even know what these tests are, or why missing them could be devastating. That's why in this video we're uncovering the 7 health checkups you should never skip after 70, each backed by science, real stories, and what can happen if you delay them. And trust me, number 2 on our list is one that almost every senior avoids until it's too late. Before we begin, let us know in the comments where you're watching from, your age, and whether you or a loved one have ever skipped a medical test and regretted it. We reply to every comment with personalized tips. And don't forget to subscribe to Age Well Daily for more science-backed health insights. Now let's start with number 7, a test that seems minor but can save your sight. Checkup number 7, eye exam for glaucoma. At first, skipping an eye exam doesn't sound like a big deal. After all, many seniors wear glasses and think that's enough. But after 70, your risk of glaucoma skyrockets. Glaucoma is called the silent thief of sight because it causes permanent vision loss without pain or warning. By the time symptoms appear, up to 40% of vision may already be gone, and it never comes back. A 2021 study in ophthalmology found that seniors over 70 who didn't have regular eye exams were twice as likely to go blind within 10 years. Take Helen, a 74-year-old retired librarian. She skipped her annual exam for 3 years, thinking her blurry vision was just aging. By the time she went in, she had lost half the vision in her right eye to glaucoma. If caught earlier, eye drops could have saved her sight. The solution? Yearly eye exams with dilation. They take 20 minutes and can save your independence. Because once you lose your vision, you lose driving, reading, and often your confidence. Checkup number 6, kidney function test. Your kidneys are the body's filters, quietly cleaning your blood 24/7. But after 70, kidney function naturally declines. The danger? You often don't feel symptoms until it's almost too late. That's why a simple blood and urine test is critical. It measures creatinine and eGFR to see how well your kidneys are working. Why does this matter? Because kidney disease is a silent epidemic in seniors. In fact, the CDC reports that 1 in 3 people over 70 already has chronic kidney disease and doesn't know it. Left unchecked, it can lead to heart failure, dialysis, or even sudden death. Just look at Robert, a 79-year-old retired mechanic. He skipped labs for years because he felt fine. One day he collapsed from fluid overload and was rushed to the ER. Tests showed his kidneys had been failing slowly for years. With early detection, he could have avoided dialysis. The good news? Catching kidney issues early means simple changes: hydration, blood pressure control, avoiding certain painkillers can stop progression completely, but only if you test. Checkup number 5, hearing test. Now you might think hearing loss is just an annoyance, but studies prove it's far more serious. Seniors with untreated hearing loss are 3 times more likely to develop dementia and 2 times more likely to fall. Why? Because the brain has to work overtime to process sounds, stealing energy from memory and balance. A 2022 Johns Hopkins study followed 639 adults for 12 years. Those with untreated hearing loss had significantly faster brain shrinkage compared to those who wore hearing aids. Take George, 72, who avoided a hearing test because he didn't want hearing aids. Over time, he withdrew from conversations, stopped attending church, and became depressed. Once tested, fitted, and supported, his memory stabilized and his social life returned. The test itself takes just 30 minutes, is painless, and can prevent years of decline. Checkup number 4, bone density scan, DEXA. Here's one test that becomes more important after 70, not less. A bone density scan, or DEXA, checks for osteoporosis, a condition where bones become brittle and break easily. Why is this critical? Because hip fractures in seniors are often life-changing. Statistics show that 20% of seniors who suffer a hip fracture die within a year, and many never walk independently again. The problem? Osteoporosis gives no warning. You can feel strong one day and break a bone from a minor fall the next. Susan, age 75, had no history of falls, but a quick DEXA scan revealed severe osteoporosis. With medication, vitamin D, and weight-bearing exercise, she strengthened her bones and avoided what could have been a devastating fracture. Skipping this test is like walking across thin ice without checking the thickness. You may not realize the danger until it's too late. Checkup number 3, heart health, EKG or echocardiogram. Heart disease is still the #1 killer of seniors. After 70, even small changes in your heart rhythm or function can quickly spiral into heart failure, stroke, or sudden cardiac arrest. That's why a simple EKG or echocardiogram is essential. They can detect silent arrhythmias, valve problems, or heart muscle weakness before symptoms strike. A 2020 JAMA cardiology study found that seniors who had preventive heart screenings were 34% less likely to be hospitalized for heart failure within 5 years. Take Raymond, 77. He thought his shortness of breath was just aging. An echocardiogram showed early heart valve disease. With medication and lifestyle changes, he avoided surgery and lived an active, fulfilling life. Skipping this checkup can mean missing the chance to stop a heart attack before it starts. Checkup number 2, colon cancer screening. This is the test most seniors dread and avoid. Colonoscopy. The prep is uncomfortable, the idea is scary, and many think, I don't need it. But colon cancer is the second leading cause of cancer death in seniors. And here's the frightening part. 90% of cases are preventable with proper screening. The good news is that after 70, there are easier alternatives. Stool-based FIT tests, done at home with no prep, can catch most dangerous cancers early. Consider Dana, 73, who put off screening. By the time she had symptoms, her colon cancer had spread. Compare that to Mark, 71, who used a simple FIT test and caught a polyp before it turned cancerous. Skipping colon cancer screening is like ignoring smoke in the kitchen until the house burns down. The earlier you act, the easier it is to save your life. Checkup number 1, blood pressure and blood sugar monitoring. Finally, the #1 checkup every senior must never skip: blood pressure and blood sugar. Why? Because high blood pressure and diabetes are the 2 most common silent killers in seniors. Together, they cause 70% of strokes, 60% of heart attacks, and 40% of kidney failures. The scary part? You often feel completely fine while damage is happening inside. But here's the hope. Regular monitoring and simple treatment can add up to 8 healthy years of life. Just ask Maria, 78. She ignored her yearly checkups until she suffered a minor stroke. Once she started routine monitoring and medication, she never had another event. Her story is a reminder. Prevention is always easier than recovery. Closing 11 o'clock. So, there you have it. The 7 health checkups you should never skip after 70. From saving your sight with an eye exam, to protecting your heart with an EKG, to catching cancer before it spreads, these tests are not just about living longer, they're about living better. Remember, modern medicine gives us powerful tools, but they only work if you use them. Don't let fear, denial, or inconvenience rob you of the healthy years you deserve.